There is an alarming infection in our country, and it's not the coronavirus. It is the infection of propaganda of our young people who are being taught in our schools and information seminars sponsored by special interest groups. These seminars and classes have very interesting titles like Leadership Conference, Legislative Planning Session, Gender and Ethnic Studies, Open Sky Institute, Blueprint Nebraska, Platte Institute, with all political parties using the same approach. They entice socially minded individuals to join with the vision of becoming a future leader. It's just another way of saying politician. The approach is very simple. Gather like-minded young people and sell them on the premise that they can make the world a better place. No one can argue this approach is very efficient in advancing their cause, but the cause must subscribe to our core values. I have spoken at many of these events and have noticed one common trait. They have all planted a vision of being a future leader or change agent. They are exposed to the resources and contacts as well as seeing success from their program of people who with positions on boards, committees, lobbies, bureaucracies, and elected offices. These leadership seminars do not teach leadership. They are teaching how to follow. I call it followship. It's not fellowship as we experience in church. They are teaching how to be a good soldier or a pawn and follow the orders of a program to advance a cause. They teach mantras and narratives to advance their agenda. We think of it as propaganda, where they tell the student what they should think and how to work within their system. Most people don't realize that all laws, rules, and regulations of society is politics. Practically everything is politics. Policies are the systems that are making a society function more harmoniously. The policies of politicians come in two flavors, conservative and liberal. Conservative is status quo, supporting the traditions, precedents, and that embraces liberty. Conservatives are more reserved, quiet, organic, and cerebral. Liberals is disruptive, or the undoing of old systems. Liberals are more radical, defiant, outspoken, and emotional. They do not want limits placed on their freedom. Their freedom means liberty without rules, which is anarchy. Our forefathers were actually liberals wanting liberty, which is freedom with rules. Education must teach how to define and solve problems, not learn how issues of discrimination, alternative lifestyles, or talking points that find more victims who complain about how the government is not doing enough to ease their problems in life. There are numerous books from The Art of War, Profiles in Courage, The Prince by Machiavelli, along with How to Make Friends and Influence People, Rules for Radical, and The Dictator's Handbook, all touching on tactics used to advance any agenda, both good and bad. Our education system must teach how to become a visionary with the fundamental traits of good leaders. They must teach how to define a problem and what to solve, what the solution looks like. They must teach problem solving. They must teach how to perfect the question. We cannot lead if one does not know where they're going. The standard test of any good law or policy is it must be fair, truthful, sustainable, and have integrity, or no false agenda. These are the core values that are filters by which all good ideas must pass. For these traits of a good leader to be the foundation of success are cultures and religions for thousands of years. The natural law of 10 Commandments, the Golden Rule, are timeless standards by which we are judged. We are the leaders of the country with our responsibility to set the example of how to be self-sufficient and not rely on the government for anything. We can live in the freest country in the world, but we would be a slave to that government if we depend on it for everything. This is Keith Kuby wishing you the best in making the world a better place.